Hi, I'm Zachary Cowan, the author of the Study Daily Books, and thanks for joining me for a look at Doctrine and Covenants, section 97. While things appear to be going very good in Kirtland here in August of 1833, they're not going so well in Missouri. In fact, in July, the Saints have been kicked out or forced to even sign an agreement that they're going to leave Jackson County, Missouri, or the land of Zion. But in this section, they're going to learn some new things about Zion. That unbeknownst to them, while trouble is happening in Missouri, the Lord in Kirtland through his prophet is changing their understanding. That rather than Zion simply being a location in a physical place, Zion is a group of people. And the expectations the Lord has of those people in that area changes. I love the way that the Lord frequently at the beginning of Revelations and the Doctrine and Covenants introduces important things about what he expects of us and what he expects of, or what we should expect from him. In Doctrine and Covenants, section 97, verse 1, he calls us friends. And he says, look, I want to speak to you by the voice of my spirit. More than wanting to send angels or more than wanting to appear to us or anything else, the Lord desires to speak to us through his spirit. If he can give us nudges through thoughts and feelings, he can have a lot of communication with us and direction, rather than us having to have a major event in order to hear his voice. And he says, those who are truly humble and meek, I can really direct them a lot. And that is just a good thought. To help us better understand the ideas and the concepts of Zion, the Lord uses opposing views of trees. So in verses 7 through 9, he uses a tree that has a lot of foliage on it, but there's no fruit. And then in verse 9, he talks about, I want this tree that's planted by a stream that's got foliage, but also has a lot of fruit on it. And guess which one he wants the Latter-day Saints to be? He wants them to be the ones that have a lot of fruit on it. The one that doesn't have any fruit, he says, look, I've even laid an axe at the foot of this tree. He's threatening judgment of destruction if there's not particular fruits brought forth. And those fruits are explicitly to build a temple. If God wants to bless us with great things so that there can be fruits, but we have to be obedient and different. We have to become a Zion-type people. So today we're going to discover what really brings forth the fruit on the tree of Zion and how to get that. In fact, this fruit, these blessings are so predominant that God is going to use this phrase, a multiplicity of blessings. Check out verse 5 and verse 28. God says, I want to give you a multiplicity of blessings. And then he sets up this image of this tree with a lot of fruit on it. Well, how do we get that? We get that by building temples and becoming people. So here it is. Here's a list of how to become people who receive a multiplicity of blessings. You're going to go ahead and pause your video and check out verses 10 through 28. Hey, thanks for studying. I hope you found some great things in there, these multiplicity of blessings that come. Verses 13 through 14 are chock full of the purposes of the temple. And as we build temples and as we attend temples, everything the Lord wants to give us, that we might become more perfected and blessed in our theory, in our doctrine, and our practice. And his promise that those who are pure in heart will have an experience feeling God's power and even being able to see his power and his glory. Those are remarkable promises. Please notice in verse 21, the Lord changes our idea of Zion. Rather than Zion always being a place, Zion, Jackson County, Zion is a concept of people, those who build temples and are changed by the temples. Those are the pure in heart. This meaning today probably has more significance than the area of Jackson County, because you cannot build a Zion city until you have a Zion people, a temple building people, people who are willing to sacrifice their tithings and their time and their effort to go forth and to worship in temples. They become changed, and then they can build things like Jackson County, Missouri. Then they can build things like great strengths and stakes. Then they can build things like eternal families and eternal marriages, because they've become a pure, holy people. They can build better relationships. And that's what God has for us, a multiplicity of blessings. Consider any commandment God has ever given you, and you will find a multiplicity of blessings behind it. We are so lucky to have God who calls us friends, and as he gives us his voice, blesses us with a multiplicity of things when we obey him. I love our Father in heaven and his Son, Jesus Christ. And in my life, they have given me a multiplicity of blessings. And in every area of my life where I'm not doing quite what they want, there is this opposing view of a tree with no fruit versus a tree with an abundance of fruit. And as I put forth effort to become a more pure person like they want me to be, I have found fruit to come forth on the growing branches of my own life. God bless you, because he will, with a multiplicity of blessings. Thanks for studying.